The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the Vraxian guards dragged the small figure across the polished obsidian floor. Cade, barely 6 solar cycles old by human reckoning, stumbled forward with chains far too heavy for his small frame. His fur, what remained of it, was matted with blood and grime. The child whimpered softly, a sound that echoed through the vaulted hall like a dying star's last pulse. Ambassador Thexelar of the Vraxian Empire stood at the podium, his chitinous plates gleaming under the chamber's cold lights. "Let this serve as proof," he announced, mandibles clicking with satisfaction. "The human colony on Arcturus 7 has violated the Treaty of Non-Expansion. This ... specimen was found beyond the designated zones. The council members' representatives from 47 species across 3 spiral arms shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Some looked away. Others whispered among themselves. The Ithkari delegate's crystalline structure dimmed noticeably. But none spoke. Cade was not human, of course. He was Feliner, a species under human protection since their world had been razed by the Vraxian war machine 3 years prior. But technicalities mattered little when power sat on one side of the scales and compassion on the other. The chamber doors exploded inward. Not metaphorically. The reinforced titanium carbide alloy doors, designed to withstand orbital bombardment, simply ceased to exist in a shower of molten fragments. Through the smoke strode a single human woman, her boots leaving scorched imprints on the sacred floor. Lyra Chun wore no diplomatic robes, no ceremonial armor. Just worn combat fatigues, a tactical vest, and an expression that made the ambient temperature drop 10 degrees. Her right hand rested casually on the plasma pistol at her hip. Her left hand was empty but somehow more threatening for it. "Release the child," she said quietly. The words carried no amplification, no theatrical boom. Yet every being in that vast chamber heard them as clearly as if she'd whispered directly into their auditory organs. Several delegates later reported feeling those words in their bones, their cartilage, their quantum-entangled neural clusters. Ambassador Thexelar recovered first, his translator crackling with indignation. "This is a gross violation of release the child." Lyra had not moved, had not raised her voice, had not even blinked. But something in the way she stood weight-balanced, muscles coiled, eyes tracking every guard, every exit, every potential threat with the precision of a quantum computer running combat algorithms, made it clear that diplomacy had left the building along with those doors. The Vraxian guards looked to their commander. The commander looked to the ambassador. The ambassador's plates clattered in what might have been laughter or might have been nervousness. "You are alone, human." In a chamber with 47 council members, their security details, and Lyra's left hand moved. It happened faster than most species could process. One moment, her hand was empty. The next, she held a simple object, a detonator. Red light pulsed steadily on its surface. "Your ships," she said conversationally, as if discussing the weather. "All 17 Vraxian dreadnoughts currently in orbit. I'd check your sensors." Thexelar's confidence wavered. A subordinate scuttled forward, mandibles working frantically as he consulted a holographic display. The color drained from his exoskeleton, a biological impossibility that nonetheless occurred. "Sir," the subordinate whispered, loud enough for the enhanced audio pickups to catch. "The fleet. All primary reactors show critical containment failures. If they cascade, 17 antimatter explosions," Lyra finished helpfully. "Right above your heads. This station, this council, every delegate, every ship within 6 million kilometers ... gone. Just physics and mathematics after that?" She smiled. It was not a kind smile. "Your move, Ambassador." The silence that followed was the kind reserved for stellar collapses and the heat death of universes. The Ithkari delegate's crystal structure had gone completely dark. The methane-breathing Gax representative's tank made worried bubbling sounds. Even the usually stoic architects of Proxima shifted in their gravitational supports. "This is madness," Thexelar hissed. "You would destroy yourself, destroy everyone here for one insignificant yes." The single word cut through his protests, like a monomolecular blade through tissue paper. Lyra took a step forward. Then another. She walked with the inevitability of a neutron star's gravity well, and being scattered before her like dust particles before a solar wind. "You see," she continued, her voice taking on an almost educational tone, "that's what you've never understood about humans. You build your empires on logic, on cost-benefit analyses, on acceptable losses and strategic positioning." She was closer now, close enough that Thexaler could see his own reflection in her dark eyes. We build ours on spite. She gestured toward Cade, who watched her with wide, fearful eyes that nonetheless held a glimmer of hope. That insignificant child? His name is Cade. He likes strawberries, a fruit from my homeworld that we grow in our greenhouses. He's learning to read. His favorite color is blue. His mother died protecting him from your soldiers. Another step. Thexaler backed away. And you dragged him here in chains, thinking we'd accept your little power play because we're outnumbered, outgunned, and outpositioned? Lyra's smile widened, showing teeth. So let me educate you on human mathematics, Ambassador. 1 child equals 17 dreadnoughts, equals 47 council members, equals this entire fucking station. That's not illogical. That's the calculation. The detonator pulsed in her hand like a heartbeat. You want to test whether I'm bluffing? Go ahead, drag that chain 1 more inch. See what happens when you mistake human compassion for human weakness. For a long moment, the universe held its breath. Then Thexaler's mandibles clicked rapidly, a gesture of submission. Release the prisoner. The chains fell away with a crash that echoed like thunder. Cade stumbled, nearly fell, then felt strong hands catch him. Lyra scooped him up with her free arm, holding him close while keeping the detonator visible in her other hand. Good choice, she said. Now, here's what happens next. The human colony on Arcturus 7 is now a recognized sovereign territory. The Felinar people are under our permanent protection. And if I ever hear about Vraxian chains on another child, I won't bother with warnings or detonators. She turned, walking back toward the ruined doors, then paused. I'll just come myself. They left in silence, a human woman and a small Felinar child, walking through a chamber full of the galaxy's most powerful beings. And not one of them dared to move until the echo of her footsteps had faded completely. In the aftermath, as technicians verified that yes, the human had indeed compromised 17 dreadnought reactors simultaneously, and yes, she absolutely would have detonated them, the Council learned an important lesson. Humanity didn't play by galactic rules. They played by human rules. And rule number 1 was simple. You don't touch their kids. Any of their kids. Ever. Because humans didn't just fight for territory or resources or strategic advantage. They fought for spite. And there was nothing more terrifying in the universe than a species that would burn down the galaxy to save a single child, simply because it was the right thing to do.